Doubts in analysis part? Is analysis clear for all of you guys?
Yeah. When the like malware is alerted and that malware has been quarantined, what severity it will be?
P2 or P3? Because the malware has been quarantined, that means no further action will be taken care by the malware.
Yeah.
Ultimately, it's in your hands. You are supposed to release the malware or delete the malware. It will be P2 or P3.
Okay. Fine.
You need to take the respective action immediately. Sure. Any other questions? Any other questions, guys?
Oh,
Okay. So let's go back for a revision part. Okay, if you're all good in terms of analysis part, do you have any questions till now in terms of technical things? Or any part you want me to repeat once again? Not clear, unclear? If not, I have a concept for you. Is the concept of build your own SOC covered?
I think no, no,
Build your own SOC.
not sure.
Yes, yes, covered.
Cover.
Covered, right? Covered, not covered. Uh, Two different
Cover.
opinions.
Cover.
Covered.
Okay, well and good. Thank you. So in this particular build your own SOC part, okay. So if you get a question, what is your team size and all? What will be your answer? I'm going to just ask a few of the questions right now. Okay, what are the common expected questions you might get in a typical interview? Just try to answer them. Okay, so randomly as a group. If you okay, don't answer
Six
with
members.
numbers. Okay, you need to explain in a detailed manner. Okay, one thing, for every question you need to give an explanation and answer. Okay, it's not like what is your team size? 5. How many L1s? 6. No, you need to answer in a elaborative manner. I want you to elaborate. Okay, that is what the ultimate thing. What is your team size? What is your team size?
We have total of 15 members in our team.
Okay,
We have a hybrid model of in which we have five L1 level analysts who handle the alerts and do basic analysis, and we have three L2 level analysts and one team lead, which who is L3 and who reports to a manager.
okay. What is this called as hybrid model? Why is it called as hybrid?
Actually, as we worked for a client, and the client, the architecture is mixed type. Like the manager is of client, the manager is from client side, and rest of the team is from our organization.
Okay, well and good. So thereafter, like, can you tell me which all the clients that you used to handle, being a L1 security analyst?
Can we disclose the client name? Is it right to disclose?
I don't know. I'm just asking the question. You can tell out the answer at the end of it. I can give out an idea on that part. What do you think? Is it a good practice to tell the client name or not?
No, it's not a good practice to tell the client name, but we can say like our client is based in our client is a life science company based in US, and they have offices over all over the world. So we can explain like this, but taking the name is not the right thing as per my organization's policy.
It's well and good. That is what we expect from all the organizations. Okay. Never ever please disclose your client names, but you can explain your client's nature of business. Okay, you can tell them, sorry, like I can't disclose the client name, but I can tell the client has to handle. Okay, so their nature of business is related to biotechnology. Okay, so biotechnology is where the typical client is working with a few of the different pharmaceutical clients and all. So they're into the main of pharmaceutical sector and all. Because if you're mentioning the sector, okay, so you are not disclosing any sort of critical information. Just because you said your client is from pharmaceutical, does it mean like they can target one single company? No. Why? Because there are in under pharma there are n number of different companies. Okay. So apart from this, can you tell me how many alerts you used to handle every day? Anyone? How many alerts you used to trigger in a SOC environment? 20 alerts. Okay. Any other numbers?
200
Sorry.
number of alerts, up to 100 number of alerts per day.
100 to 150 alerts in a day. So we were
Mhm.
two in a shift, like in a rotational shift. So we used to handle a alert like 10 to 15 alerts.
Rise it to 25 to 30. The way you answered was well and good. Rise it to 25 to 30, Kavya.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that's well and good. Apart from that, can you tell me what was your SLA?
So for priority one, we were having 30 minutes, and for priority, like for priority two, it was around 1.5 hour to two, and for priority three, we were having 3 to 4 hours, and for priority four, we were having like it is not exactly hours, like we would it is like
24
7
hours.
to 24 hours or 12 hours like that.
Okay, what is this? Is it the response time or detection time?
It is a response time.
Okay, well and good. So apart from this, can you tell me which all the alerts used to trigger in your SOC environment? How many alerts you used to get and which all the alerts you used to get?
Like most of the time, we were getting the false positive alerts.
Mm-hmm.
So very rarely we were getting true positive alerts. So
Mm-hmm.
we usually work for like as an L1 analyst, we usually work for uh, false positive alerts only. Like if we get a chance to work in, like if the alert is triggered for true positive, we would involve the L2 analyst with us and analyze together.
Okay. But anyhow, like whatever the incident triggers, L1 analyst would be there, right? Because you are
Yes.
the ones who will be the first responders.
Yes.
Which all the alerts used to trigger?
Most of the time, brute
We
force alerts.
Okay, brute force. Then only one.
we got alerts like phishing alerts, brute
Phishing
force alerts,
alerts. Yes.
using of Tor detected, and issues like any new malware, found in any machine. If AV detected it not, it will create an alert. And we also get alert for different type of injection attacks. And these days we are also getting alerts for Log4j also.
Explain about Log4j.
Log4j is a type of injection attack which is based on Apache's Log4j capability, in which the GNDI lookup feature was affected, and what attacker tries to do, that he tries to send the GNDI malformed GNDI lookup query, and they will try to forward the connection to their own malicious LDAP server, so they can do remote code execution type of attacks.
Okay, well and good. That's how you're going to get the questions on top of your experience. Okay, build your own SOC. Your previous company's SOC environment used to get the questions like this. Okay, so basically in the next part of our discussion, okay, we are going to discuss all about a new tool evaluation. Okay, what we call as new tool evaluation. Take a break of 5 to 8 minutes, because the concept what we're going to discuss in the next part is totally different from the previous one. Okay, we don't want your mind to be mixing all these concepts at a time. Okay, so take a break of 8 minutes. We'll be back within 8, and we're going to discuss about a new tool evaluation, how and when. Okay, just think through. Okay, I'm leaving a thought in the without before jumping onto the break. When a SOC team decides to go for licensing of a particular tool, what are the process it will follow, and how it will be helpful for your learning, and how you can showcase it in your resume. Okay, all these things is all what we are going to discuss right now. Okay, so take a break for 8 minutes, and we'll be back within that particular 8 or 10, and we're going to discuss about the new tool evaluation part. Is it clear?
Yes, Surya.
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm giving a forceful break just because to give your mind relaxation, so that in the next part what we discuss are entirely different from what we discussed in the previous part. Okay. So we'll be back by 7:50. Okay. Exactly now the time is 7:41. So we'll be back exactly by 7:50. Hi guys, welcome back. What did you do on the break, guys? Coffee, quick walk. Just checked your mobile for WhatsApp message, if I'm not wrong. Guys, are we back? Okay, so
Yeah,
today we gonna discuss about the concept of new tool evaluation. What is a new tool evaluation?
Installing a new tool in our environment as per requirement.
Okay, that is well and good. But before having a license, okay, for example, so when you decide to go buy a car today itself, will you go today and pay the money and buy the car?
No.
Then
First we
or
have
what?
to
No,
first we have to analyze what are the plus and minus of that car. Am I right?
Okay,
Then we
firstly we
so
will
will
decide.
analyze our.
okay, no problem.
Then we will do the comparison with the other cars. The same standard with other cars. Is it good, better than that one, or if there is any problems and all everything, then we will decide that one. Then we will analyze that one.
and we will check the price.
We'll analyze and requirement as how much based on usage and our budget.
Firstly, we will identify and match our business goals, what we want to achieve, and we will have meetings regarding that. After that, we will communicate with all the SOC leads and everyone, and
See,
we will
one
ask
thing
all
is
the
clear, analyst will not do this. Okay,
yes, yes,
what Saurabh you thought is a very good one. Okay, so only the leads or manager or above that level itself you're going to do that. But still you might be having this question, sir, why are we learning this particular concept? Right? So if it is not done by this particular, if it is not done by us, but still we are learning these things. Why? So you have come across the concept of RFP, right? Request for proposal.
Yes, Surya.
Okay, hopefully. Thank God. How about others? RFP.
I don't think.
Sorry?
Yes, yes. In Sachin's class, we had this discussion.
RFP. Okay, so that's well and good. Basically, so why are we trying to learn all these concepts which will be not done by our part of the job role? Why? Because the moment when you go for a typical interview and you start speaking about all this stuff, okay, to a lead level, so what will happen? The interviewer, okay, the person who's going to take your interview is a lead and manager. Okay, the person who's going to take your interview is lead and manager. And if you are speaking about the concerns of a lead or a manager, and if you're speaking about up to the level of a typical manager, so what will happen? The candidate or the interviewer will get impressed on the candidate, thinking, how come Saurabh is able to speak about all these things? How come Sumit is able to speak about all this new tool evaluation or RFP part and all? So that is the reason we want you to impress the typical interviewers with the way or with the level of answers what you give. So that is the reason most of the times, okay, these concepts, okay, will be helpful for you in a longer growth and also to impress the high end people of your particular team. So our new tool evaluation is one such particular concept. So where typically what will happen most of the times, we don't know whether which company is best in terms of SIM solution. Okay, so your company is there and you'll be dealing with the multiple different things and all, but you don't know which particular sim solution is the best in the particular market. Okay, if you go and ask a certain, for example, if you go and ask about the Splunk, sir, which is the best tool, sim solution, they will tell obviously ours is a best sim solution, please go ahead and use the particular sim tool, it is very good and all. So likewise, so what will happen, we can't ask from a particular vendor about the which is the best and all. So what the companies will do, they do some market research on top of their requirement, on top of their readiness. Okay, so what is on top of their expectations. Okay, once all these things are considered, so then what they will do, we will do something called as new tool evaluation. For example, okay, in our company, okay, we want to have a sim solution right now. Okay, we want to have a SIEM solution. So in this scenario, what we do, we are going to outsource this particular project of what we call installing the typical SIEM solution, writing up of some of the correlation rule to a base level. Okay, so we want to outsource this entire project, onboard the log source, get support from the typical company. Okay, so from all these things, we are going to get that particular part. Okay, so in this particular thing, what we can do, we can outsource or we can call it as a mini project. Okay, this project will be outsourced and some other company will jump in and they're going to do. Okay, for example, in one of the company I worked, so where they have outsourced the project to Securonics, right? Securonics is having their own tool called as a sniper. So we want to get services of that particular sniper tool, so they are going to install the sniper and onboard and configure and troubleshoot and everything. They're going to give us a finalized product and then we can start working on that particular part. So in this particular aspect, okay, in the concept of sim technical assessment, okay, so the very first step what we are going to do is we call it as tender information. Okay, we are going to call out for a tender for multiple companies, where for these companies we're going to give some set of conditions and we evaluate these companies on certain conditions. Okay, the SIM implementation project tender was issued. Okay, this is one of the real time what we call neutral evaluation document, guys. Okay, this is not a created ones, this is one of the real time ones. Okay, the SIM implementation project tender was issued on 4th of July 2016 to 5 partners. Okay, the original date for return for tenders. Okay, that means the response from the tender was expected on 31st July, but later it got extended up to 7th August. 4 tender bulletin were issued. Okay, all the 5 partners responded to the tender. That means for 5 different companies, they have called out for the tender, and all the 5 companies replied back with their tender information. Okay, these are all the tenders and the tenderer and their proposed solution. Manai Trading Co. Okay, this is one of the company who suggest a logarithm. I4 Solutions, they suggest IBM Curadar. HCL, this info system, they suggest RSA. Paramount RSA. GBM Qatar, RSA itself. Okay, you might be wondering, sir, we have not heard these companies and we are hearing for the very first time. No problem. These are all the Middle East companies, guys. That's why we are hearing for the very first time. All these companies are from Middle East. So that is the reason we are hearing for the very first time. So in the next slide, okay, so we are going to give this particular information, technical clarification meetings. What are technical clarification meetings, guys? Any guess?
Requirement of as per
Outline
security
server requirement.
and how much log we need to handle and everything. These type of stuff will be discussed in this.
Okay. Then after, there will be other few other factors, right? For example, when you want to
Hardware
go and buy a
requirement.
car, you go to a car showroom and ask several questions. What are those?
The fuel consumption,
Exactly. Fuel consumption, or else it might be power, or else it might be the
yes.
features. What all it will be giving upon.
Like tool functionalities and interface of the tools.
Either it's a two-wheel driving or four-wheel driving.
Superb, sir.
Mhm.
Okay. So likewise, what you said is perfectly right. Okay. So what we do in this particular aspect is in a technical clarification meeting. So most of the times, so what the companies will do, they will be having some technical doubts about the tool, why this particular SIM tool and what all things are there, how this company is the best and all. So what we are giving out in the very first part in the technical clarification meeting, out of all these five different vendors, we have considered only these three vendors. All solutions meet the minimum requirement for a SIM solution. Evaluation of the key features done based on maturity and ease of use. Okay, here you can see sources used for evaluation. You might get a question, sir, out of all these five different things you have selected only these three, on what basis? That it depends on bid proposals, vendor documentation. Okay, what is the bid proposal? Like how you are proposed for this particular thing, or else a vendor documentation, how well you are or how good in terms of documentation part, general Google research, okay, to know that which company is the best. Technical clarification meeting, solution briefing and feature demonstrations. Okay, when you go and buy a car, so there'll be a debriefing about the car features over here. So how they're debriefing this particular SIM solution. Okay, user reviews, online professional contacts. Okay, we need to check any other companies who are using their services, what they feel about this particular client, video demonstration, technical features, what are the technical features this particular SIM tool is having. International analyst, so basically where uh, to analyze a typical tool itself, there will be some international analyst just to tell like which tool is the best and all to evaluate this particular thing.
Also, they will require for the reference where they
Yes,
have installed this one, this tool and all everything.
just to
From there
know.
also we used to get the idea about those tools.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so then after once we used all these different sources for evaluation, okay, so on top of it we have we have shortlisted Manai, I4 solutions and GBM Qatar. We have shortlisted with these three different companies with different SIM solutions.
But
Now let's
in GBM Qatar also it is GBM Qatar is dealing with IBM QRadar, not the another one.
no, GBM
Yes,
Qatar is
yes,
with
sir.
RSA.
No, I am in Qatar. I have, actually I know both companies.
This is
This
very old
GBM
document,
Qatar
sir.
is representing.
Very
Ah,
very
yeah,
very
yeah,
old.
maybe.
This is
Yeah,
not the
because
latest one. Probably
yeah,
I can say it is 2018 and before, I think.
yeah, because GBM is representing IBM QRadar.
Oh, so then probably all these
Manna,
company
yeah,
names you are
yeah,
familiar with, right?
yeah. Manna is for logarithm. That is right. Yes.
See,
Yeah,
all
yeah,
these
okay.
are real time
Maybe
itself
yeah,
with one of the
yeah, yeah,
companies we worked, but it's
yeah,
not a latest one in 2022. It's all about
yeah,
2018 and before
yeah, maybe.
when we used to
Sorry
work
if I've
at
interrupted.
Qatar. No problem, sir. Thank you. I think the company names are familiar with you. Well and good. So in the next part, we are going to discuss about the technical evaluation fee summary. Okay, so there are two different evaluation criterias. When you look at this particular thing, what are the things you can observe, guys?
Two different highlights. One is with red, another is with blue. That's the
Hmm.
thing only. Maybe to differentiate those things. Maybe I don't know.
Okay, two different shades, but what are they trying to convey? Just read out in the criteria part. You probably can get more idea on that part.
One is a technical feature and another one is support.
Exactly, right? So one is related to tool features, another one is related to support features. Correct? So in the very first part that is there in the blue color, okay, which it represents about the tool oriented features, right? So basically like what is the technique, what are the technical features of the particular SIM solution, or whether they meet the requirements or not, deployment and ease of use, integration, or else it might be prerequisites and resource, okay, scalability, international analyst reference, okay, all these things are related to tool oriented one, okay. So what the weightage we are going to give for technical features, overall we are going to give the weightage of 7, and Mana is having 5, I4 with 5 and all. So we are measuring different companies with the SIM solution with on top of the ratings which has been given, right? So that is how the things will be in the blue color. The one in amber color which represents the support features of the particular company. For example, for Manai trading, okay, for Manai, what is the client communication weightage? Out of 5, we are going 4. Okay, for InfoSec focus, what is the team size, solution support? When you want to buy a particular SIM solution, okay, so for example, when you want to buy a particular car, so not only the features of the car, even you will check like what is the how the typical, for example, so what sort of service support will be given from that particular company? So in terms of service, when you come for a service, any sort of damage and all, how quickly they will respond, how quickly they respond to the customer requirement and all these things will matter a lot when you go and buy a car. Likewise, here also, okay, you can when you observe all these different features, they're going to give a weightage for each and every aspect of a particular tool and also the team. For example, in the tool wise, okay, so what are the technical features of the tool are there, what are the support features are there, okay, everything have been considered. So then after at the end, so they're going to give the total what we count for all these different companies, and overall percentage will be given for all these different things. Okay, so for overall percentage, like for I4 or Manai, okay, we have something called as 80, 75, 51. Okay, so out of which, why we want to consider, why we should mention all this information, because while you are submitting all this information to any other different concerned person, like it might be managers, it might be director of the company, chief technical officer of the company, okay, so they ask us how you did this particular categorization, on what basis you are going to buy the logarithm tool. Okay, when they ask this question, you need to give us each and every phase of this particular technical implementation. It started like this, then we initiated the discussion with these people, from then we consider all these different factors for evaluation of these companies. Okay, we need to give all these different information, okay, technical evaluation summary and all. So then after it comes with SIM feature ratings, right? So here probably you can observe, okay, one with 80, 75 and 56, these three will be shortlisted. Okay, it might be Manai, I4 and GBM. Okay, so what will happen, so their proposed solutions are IBM Curadar, logarithm and RSA. Now here we discussed all about the company and its feature. Okay, so company and their tool features and their support features also. Here we are going to discuss only about SIM feature. Okay, so in IBM Curadar, whether a SIM tool is good or not, logarithm is good or not, RSA is good or not, and they are lacking in any of these performances and all. Okay, host visibility is poor in the IBM Curadar, or operational use is poor in the IBM Curadar. Okay, we are going to give us all the different featured ratings. Okay, which tool is the best and all. In the logarithm part, okay, so you can see there are no any other poor conditions met. Okay, all the conditions are excellent, good. So that means there is no any such malicious thing. So then after, this is the next part. Anyone heard of this Gartner report?
Yeah.
What is a Gartner?
Gartner report.
What is a Gartner?
Meaning of Gartner report.
No, my question is what is a Gartner report?
So, report based on few.
They are mostly dealing with project management. Sir, this is they are mostly dealing with project management, Gartner project.
So they will research and they will highlight the top companies
Okay,
tools.
so it's just like the best thing is all about. You heard of magazines, right? Indian Car of the Year 2018, Indian Car of the Year 2019. So there are some magazines which give out this particular award to some of the companies. Anyone observed these things? You know magazines, right? Magazines.
Yeah,
Thank you. Are these magazines a private or a government ones?
Private.
When these magazines give an award saying like a Hyundai was a car of the year 2018 for a particular model. Okay. So who gives this particular award or the name and all those things? These magazine vendors itself, right? Considering on top of some of the conditions and criteria, they are going to give or they are going to tell us something like Hyundai i20 was car of the year 2018, Mercedes Benz was the car of the year 2019, something like that, or random examples. Okay, we can just like that. Gartner is also one private company which will analyze the different solutions. Okay, so they are not only in terms of evaluating the SIM solution, they are into the field of networking, firewall, switch, hub, router. Okay, so technology oriented one, company oriented one, everywhere. Okay, they gave this particular Gartner magic quadrant. What they will do, so they are divided the four quadrants into four, like they are divided the all of the companies into four different quadrants. Okay, so one is the leader. Okay, leader means who is the top vendor of that particular thing. Okay, when you speak about SIM solution, which is the top vendor of that particular SIM solution. Okay, so challengers who are growing. Okay, so ninth place who is having that visionaries. Okay, and then after visionaries is just like they're heading towards a typical success, right? They will classify all these into four different categories. Likewise, Gartner will give this particular thing. Companies will refer to this particular Gartner report when they want to go and buy this particular SIM solution or any of these things. We will refer, right? We will Google out which is the best mobile phone, or else it might be mobile phone and its features and its durability check and all, which will be done by any of the different persons. Will refer that particular video also before buying a mobile phone, or it might be anything. Just like that, here also there is something called as Gartner, a private vendor who will give us a detailed information related to this particular thing. Okay, according to the Gartner, okay, what they are going to tell, like IBM security is the top in this particular part, and the logarithm here it stands with somewhere around roughly fifth position. Here it is at third. Second is a Splunk here, HPS head of Splunk over here. Okay, so then after we'll conclude what all the conclusions we have made out of our new tool evaluation part. In the HCL Infosystems, Paramount, GPM Qatar, all these they proposed RSA security analytics. Okay, does not comply with stock experts technical requirement, need to be dropped for any further consideration. Okay, we are dropping RSA security plus these three companies because they didn't align with our requirements. Our requirements are totally different and a tool says something else. So we were not proceeding with that particular tool. I4 solutions proposed IBM Curadar. Okay, I4 proposed IBM Curadar complies with SOC experts technical requirements, can be considered for commercial evaluation. What is this commercial evaluation? It's just like whether they fit for our in terms of money or in terms of our standards and all, whether they fit or not, we are going to consider for the next round. Manai Trading Co. Okay, so we are going to consider their proposed logarithm sim tool. It complies with Chalk Experts technical requirements. The quality of the bid was excellent and demonstrated a very good understanding of Chalk Experts need. They also demonstrate demonstrated strong in-house skilled resources for ongoing support of the proposed solution. Hence, it can be considered for commercial evaluation. Okay, in the commercial evaluation part, they will check whether they are into our budget or not, whether they are in our budget scale or not, whether they're going to consider the particular part, and then they're going to give the project for a particular company and ask them, please come and onboard this particular SIM solution for us and implement all these different features for our typical tool. That's how the entire communication will work, or else in terms of installing a typical SIM solution will work. This is how we are going to evaluate a new tool. Evaluating a new tool, not only they do all this evaluation on top of only Gartner or features or support and all, just when you think aloud over here, okay, when the overall thinking is done, okay, you can observe they are going to consider on different features, right? For example, you can't expect the same features of a car in a bike. Agreed? You can't have a music system, or else you can't have something called as gear system and all, like totally they are different thing. Okay, so the features of a car is different, feature of a bike is different. So we can't compare both of these entities over here. So just like that, okay, so while you're evaluating a SIEM solution, the features might be different. While you're evaluating a typical what we call a XDR solution, or else it might be any other different solution, okay, the evaluation criteria might be different. So that is the reason you can mention these points in your resume, and when someone asks you a question, okay, so can you tell me how are you going to do this particular new evaluation point and all, you can just explain all these things. Okay, so how this particular evaluation criteria will works on top of what all the conditions you are going to evaluate. Okay, these things will make you sound like a professional, and when you're speaking up to a level of a lead or a manager, even they feel happy about, because one of our teammate is having a great level of exposure, right? So hardly you will get to see the document. Okay, forget about the knowledge. To see the document in a company, okay, they will not allow you to look at RFP, they will not allow you to look at this new tool evaluation and all. Because it will be done by your leads and manager, director of the company, VP, CTO. Okay, they are bothered about these things. Okay, they has to go with a certain level of approvals and all, then you are able to get this particular evaluation of the tool, right? So that is the reason most of the times. Okay, so with what you have got right now, please work on these things. Okay, so just try to get an exposure how you are going to do the evaluation of XDR, because I know that most of you don't have time to complete the assignments, because yesterday's assignment was only done by one person of your particular group. Okay, but yes, if you get some time for your own betterment, for you to get a job, if possible, do the same evaluation criteria on XDR. Okay, and most of you guys were having a question, sir, like which all the other tools you are going to cover it off and all. Okay, I think by this weekends, okay, probably you will be having the XOR class, and in the next week, even we are planning to have the sessions on Azure Sentinel and also XDR part. Okay, we are trying very hard enough for you to give a great level of exposure and give a good impression in your resume, and to you also to get the job very much earlier. But please, it's a humble request from your end also, there should be some sort of efforts which will showcase or which will pick up the energy from our end also. Okay, it's not all about always we try to get. For example, it's a, can we clap with a one hand? No, so it should be a two-handed clap, then only it will be sound, and then only we call it as a clap. Okay, so that is the reason when we are trying to, when we are putting our efforts in a very extensive manner, we expect the same thing from you also, right? So we'll be having the sessions on XDR, we'll be having the sessions on Azure Sentinel, we'll be having the sessions on Cortex XOR also. Okay, you can mention all these things in your resume. XOR will be on the weekend, and in the weekday it will be like XDR and also Sentinel. Clear? Any other doubts or queries till now? Tomorrow I'm going to help you out in terms of Palo Alto and the proof point, where some of you, your friends have asked a query on that particular part. Linux, no. So we are not going to learn about Linux, right? Because I don't think so anywhere else we are going to use the Linux and all. We are not going to read about the Linux part. Apart from this, any other queries or questions, guys?
Attendance.
Well and good. Thank you.
It will be on 7 a.m. only, or like Cortex on weekend.
Yes, the same 7 a.m. time.
Same timings, right?
Yes, yes.
It will be taken by you.
I'm trying to take, but we'll check on that particular part once again.
Okay.
Why is that question? Like, if you are taking and all, I- am I boring, guys? Not right.
No,
No.
no, it's good actually, very good.
It's
I mean, if you are
very,
taking it, will be good.
very good.
Thank you. Hopefully, I'm on a safer side.
Surya, there is one question
Yeah, go ahead.
which I face.
Yeah.
Actually, there is one question which I face. Have you used Sandbox for evaluate any analysis like that? Because in our environment, we don't have the Sandbox like. So
Mhm.
how we deliver the answer to that particular question?
So basically, if you don't have that particular sandbox environment, what I can tell is all about. No, sir, we don't have anything called as sandbox environment in our company. So what we used to do is we used to depend, or we used to rely on something called as open source sandbox environment, something called as any.run, right? So I think if any one of you are watching malware analysis video from Anand Guru's video from the YouTube, right? So the entire malware analysis course has been covered in the YouTube at free of cost. Just watch out those videos. In one of the video, he has used any.run, which is a sandbox environment. How to
Like
use that particular sandbox, how to analyze it, that is there. You can just tell
dynamic
them.
analysis.
Yes. So in that particular video, or from that particular aspect, you can tell, yes, I've worked on any.run sandbox. This is how it works. You can explain.
Okay.
Okay. Your attendance has been initiated. You can just mark it down, guys.
Yeah.
And also there are new wonderful features that has been added into the magic portal. Please make the best use out of it. If you log in, I think anyone can experience that one. Kindly
What
confirm,
is it?
guys.
What is it one, sir? CSIQ?
CSIQ, company specific interview questions. Tomorrow when you're going up for a typical interview and you think like, sir, I'm going interview for 8 hours, do you have any questions, right? So what you can do, go to CSIQ, just type in 8 hours and select any of their job roles, or just select others. So probably you will be getting the all the questions with respect to
Yeah.
that company, so that you can prepare accordingly for those company and their questions.
Oh, now it is.
CSIQ placements, many other features are there. Just check, guys. I want you to visually experience how it is, because we don't have
Yeah.
anyways we don't have the student login. So I
In
just want to know how you guys are feeling with the
Same
new
points
console.
are added.
Sorry.
Yeah, same points are added. Cyber news, CV points, like
Mm-hmm.
recent points. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Sentinel EDR XOR tools in 1 week is enough for mentioning CV. Probably you have Splunk tool is there, analysis oriented tools are there. Even you can mention those things, Avinash. Open source threat intel tools are there. Sandbox environment you can mention. Tomorrow's class
that
I'm going
will,
to cover off Palo Alto or Proofpoint. Even you can mention those points also in your resume, Avinash.
so tomorrow, proof point and Palo Alto, right?
Yes.
The next day, other things, XR and Sentinel,
No,
Azure.
Friday we are planning out for something else. Okay, something
Okay.
new and something impressive for you guys. After anyhow, we are planning to do it for Saturday. Okay, Saturday probably we can have the session on XOR. From Monday, I think we'll be having on Sentinel for 2 days and XDR for 2 days. Okay, hoping on that particular part. I'll confirm anyhow in the upcoming days. Okay, so
So,
actually Sentinel, XDR, all these things are not there in your curriculum. If you just check in the website or whatever the images you have, no, nowhere we have mentioned the Sentinel or XDR. So what I thought is, so basically, if we include these things, it might create a weightage for your particular profile. Okay, not only the technical explanation, tool demonstration will also be there. Okay, we are going to give a demonstration of the tool in terms of Sentinel and also in terms of XDR also, so that your profile will become more weightage. Even you guys can gain a great piece of knowledge and it will be helpful for your interviews and all. So hoping on that, I added these new two different tools into this particular training so that it will be helpful for your placements.
thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, sir.
No problem, sir. So
On
well and good.
Saturday, right? On Saturday, right?
Saturday, I think only XOR will be there. In the next week, Monday to Friday, from morning 7 to 9, you can expect Sentinel and XDR.
Saturday, the same time, right?
Same time, 7 to 9.
That means in our Katha time, 4:30 early morning.
Yeah, so that is the biggest problem actually in terms of
Yes.
manage time difference, and not only Qatar and all, it's well and good. For Australia and all, it is very hectic. And I think about US also, it will be morning. It will be in the night. Hope so. Right, so just check with the new features, guys. Okay, in terms of placement, in terms of CSIQ, in terms of cyber news, testimonials and all. Okay, so just check. I think feel good session is also feel good tab is also well and good. Okay, I'm pretty sure you guys are going to love the particular features. Okay, so if you want to suggest anything, okay, so you can drop a message, because even we are growing, we are learning from you guys. You are our biggest teachers, you are our biggest mentors. So please let us know how you felt with a new UI, and what are the feedback you want to give it to us, so that we can improvise and we can help you out more and more.
So once the class is over, like, are we still having the access to the Magic Portal?
Yes.
That will
So
be
the SE coins will be there with you for 3 months. Okay, 3 months in the sense from the day when you start your training. Okay, I think almost it's been 2 months are over. Another 1 month it will be there.
okay. Other than that, coins, like other, like all the other.
Portal access will be there, but not in terms of coins. Portal access will be there. You can access CSIQ, you can access recent placement, applying for the job, cybersecurity news and all. Okay, so you can go ahead with that particular part. No problem. Okay.
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 Sure. So whatever is required for your placements, whatever is required for you to get placed, definitely we are going to continue the supports. Okay, that is what the promise we want to keep over here. Okay, so not only in terms of covering up the tools what we promised, even we want to add up the tools which the industry is requiring. Okay, SOC experts doesn't say like we are the leaders in terms of training technically, but we are leaders in terms of training you with a job oriented one. So yet we want to keep the promise. So tomorrow we'll discuss about Palo Alto and Proofpoint, okay, in detail. So what are the different features of Palo Alto is there, features of Proofpoint is there, how we need to answer all the stuff and all. And in the next week, so we are going to learn few other tools on that particular part. Okay, clear?
But Saturday the class will be there, right?
Yes. Tomorrow
Okay.
or day after tomorrow, I'm going to give a clear picture on that particular part.
Okay. Okay. Sir. That's good.
Sure. Okay.
Thank
So thank you. Have a good rest of the day. So please, you have another 20 minutes of your time left with this particular training. Please use your time to go to this particular magic portal. So refer for some of the questions under the CSIQ, company specific interview questions, feel good part, recent placements and all the stuff, so that you'll get to know that what all the things are running up with the particular companies and all, so that you'll get to know the with the latest update also. Okay, so thank you, have a good rest of the day. So we'll meet tomorrow with our next part of the discussion. Okay, bye bye guys.
Bye. Thank you.